Saudi Arabia has been gripped by one of the most intense and disruptive rainstorms in recent years, with Jeddah, Yanbu, Medina, and several surrounding regions experiencing dangerous flash floods, collapsed buildings, submerged vehicles, and a full activation of emergency response services across multiple provinces. Authorities have placed the affected cities on high alert, warning residents to remain indoors, avoid low-lying areas, and stay away from desert valleys, where sudden water surges have turned normally dry riverbeds into fast-moving torrents, capable of sweeping away vehicles and debris within seconds. Meteorologists describe the rainfall system as unusually concentrated, moisture-loaded, and highly unstable, with forecasts indicating continued rainfall until at least Thursday. Jeddah, the commercial and residential heart of the city, was brought to a standstill as relentless rainfall quickly overwhelmed the drainage system. Within minutes, major districts such as Al-Balad, Bani Malik al-Salama, Azizia, Al-Fayha, Al-Hamra were seen completely submerged, forcing drivers to abandon their cars, climb onto sidewalks, or seek help from passing rescue units. Rainfall measurements confirmed. Al-Basatin, 81 millimeters, King Abdulaziz. International Airport, 51 millimeters. These figures, recorded in a short duration, are considered exceptionally high for Western Saudi Arabia, where urban drainage infrastructure faces difficulties handling rapid water accumulation. Main roads, including several key arteries linking residential and commercial hubs, were clogged with stalled vehicles, some nearly fully submerged. Eyewitnesses described cars floating or drifting sideways as rapid water flow carried them several meters from their original positions. One resident said, "I have lived in Jeddah for 20 years. I have never seen the water rise this fast. Within less than 10 minutes, the road turned into a river." In multiple neighborhoods, thousands of vehicles suffered severe damage as engines flooded, electrical systems short-circuited, and fuel tanks filled with contaminated water. Categories of affected vehicles include sedans, family vans, ride-hailing taxis, delivery vehicles, large SUVs typically resilient in wet conditions. Tow truck services were overwhelmed, and several drivers reported waiting 5 to 7 hours for assistance. Basement flooding causes millions in losses. Basement levels of commercial plazas, office complexes, residential towers, and shopping malls were completely filled to capacity with muddy water, leaving behind destroyed vehicles, short-circuited electrical panels, damaged CCTV equipment, non-functional backup generators, and elevators forced into emergency shutdown. Residents in some complexes reported that emergency exits were temporarily inaccessible due to high water levels. Communication networks disrupted. Multiple districts reported weakened or temporary loss of mobile signals, internet connectivity, fiber optic networks, and emergency communication channels. Telecom companies issued statements acknowledging regional disruptions due to water-related damage at ground stations. School closures and reduced office attendance. The Ministry of Education issued region-wide notifications declaring emergency closures for many public and private schools. Students were shifted to online learning platforms until conditions improved. Work attendance in government facilities dropped significantly as employees struggled with blocked roads, stalled vehicles, and flooded underpasses. Yanbu hit harder than anticipated. While Jeddah battled flooding, Yanbu faced a different and more dangerous threat: structural failures due to intense rainfall and powerful winds. The storm tore into residential and industrial sectors, causing roof collapses in older buildings, widening cracks in aged structures, damaged warehouse sheds, and rainwater entering schools and community centers. A local municipal engineer stated, "Some of these buildings were not designed to withstand such sustained rainfall. The stress load exceeded the structural limits. In several areas, vehicles parked beside old buildings and commercial blocks were completely buried under fallen roofs, with debris mixing with floodwater, fuel, and construction waste, creating hazardous conditions for rescue workers. Rescue teams deployed across affected cities. Saudi civil defense, along with police, paramedics, and municipal task forces, mobilized full emergency units. Actions taken: deployment of rescue boats to assist stranded individuals, activation of high-clearance vehicles for deep-water navigation, removal of debris from collapsed areas in Yanbu transport of injured individuals to nearby hospitals, evacuation of residents from severely flooded homes, temporary closure of hazardous intersections. Heavy machinery arrives in Yanbu. Due to multiple structural collapses, heavy equipment, including cranes, excavators, and reinforced loaders, were rushed to the city to lift debris and secure damaged structures. Emergency medical teams set up temporary stations to treat people suffering from injuries, shock, and respiratory issues related to humidity and debris. Medina. Although not as severe as Jeddah or Yanbu, moderate rainfall caused waterlogging in several key areas. Flash floods in desert valleys near the city forced authorities to issue travel warnings, divert inner-city routes, and suspend movement near vulnerable wadis. Rural communities reported wall collapses and losses of livestock, though no major casualties were immediately confirmed. Wadis become lethal in minutes. Saudi Arabia's dry valleys, known as wadis, acted as natural channels for the sudden deluge of rainwater. Despite appearing harmless during dry seasons, these wadis can transform into violent surges of water, capable of lifting vehicles and sweeping away tents, equipment, and even small buildings. Risks reported: submerged rural roads. Vehicles swept by fast currents, stranded hikers and campers blocked desert paths. Rising water levels in low-lying crossings, civil defense issued urgent warnings, instructing residents to avoid all wadi routes. Social impact residents expressed fear and uncertainty as unpredictable water levels continued to rise. Common difficulties included inability to leave homes, elderly and sick individuals needing assistance, families separated due to road closures, massive traffic congestion lasting several hours. Economic damage. The financial toll is expected to be significant. Millions of rials in vehicle repairs, large-scale building restoration, business closures in industrial zones and markets, suspended manufacturing operations, supply chain delays due to blocked roads, environmental concerns. Heavy rainfall resulted in mud accumulation across highways, contamination in waterlogged areas, displaced wildlife, damaged farmlands in rural regions. Environmental experts warn that cleanup may take several weeks. The Saudi Meteorological Authority reported that the unstable weather system is still active, with moderate to heavy rainfall expected in western regions, increased moisture from Red Sea winds, temperature drops across coastal areas, potential for renewed flash floods. Authorities urge citizens to monitor official channels for continuous updates. Official safety guidelines for residents. Authorities advised: avoid unnecessary travel, keep vehicles away from low-lying zones, stay indoors during heavy rainfall, disconnect electrical appliances if water enters buildings. Follow verified instructions via official platforms. Municipal teams continue pumping operations in Jeddah, clearing blocked drains and reopening critical intersections.